right, we are back from Latin America, but we're still riding the high of the trip, so let's do one last one to wrap up the series. Bolivia, let's get into it. So starting at the top, just some basic stuff. They are landlocked in between a few different countries above. Geography is followed. So it depends on how you look at it, but about 40 to 50% of the country has the Andes mountain range running through it. Obviously a little bit hard to develop there. And hard to tell from this map, but the Amazon rainforest actually covers like a vast majority of the space up here. Obviously hard to develop that as well. So this area down here in the south, this is where you're going to see, most of the agricultural export. Bolivia's export economy is actually very focused on what the world economy and what a lot of countries are focused on right now. So hard materials, hard commodities, energy, critical minerals, etc. Soy and ag is definitely still falling in the top 5, but you can see the other spaces are filled up with what is definitely in vogue right now for their export. On the flip side of that, what are they using cash to buy? So machinery and equipment, vehicles, etc. Interesting to note, the top spot is where China sits, so China provides Bolivia with most of its machinery and mechanical equipment. Bolivia's population pyramid, pretty healthy. I don't know why ChatGPT does this, but it provides it opposite. So, you have older ages down here, younger ages down here. Really important for how monetary policy works into the decades into the future. So great. Why do we care about all this? Bolivia just went through a presidential election, ending about 20 years of socialist rule, and they inked a bunch of deals with the West and a bunch of other companies, Starlink, etc., which that brings them closer to the collective West and the U.S. Once we talked a lot about telecommunications in the last video, just among Latin American countries in general, this is important because, if a majority of countries of a region or a bloc start to go with, one country, one set of standards or rules, then they essentially become the de facto rules of the road for operating. Thus, a lot of other foreign companies are going to be hard to break into that market. So right now, Bolivia specifically dominated historically under the socialist rule with mostly Russian and Chinese telecommunications providers. So big upset with Starlink coming in. Peace Corps reoperating in Bolivia was an interesting one. Obviously, Latin America has a kind of a sordid history with the CIA and other clandestine intelligence services in just kind of the region. Most of these countries view the Peace Corps as an extension, even though, and this is an interesting fact, you cannot join the Peace Corps if you have ever had any affiliation with clandestine services in the U.S. Like the U.S. government just won't allow you to join the Peace Corps. And the reason for that is we want the Peace Corps to operate as a completely separate entity from, obviously, intelligence agencies, and we want other countries to know that, because we want our Peace Corps people to actually be safe when they're operating in foreign countries. This is purely just a diplomatic effort on the U.S. And so taking all these pieces together, what do you have? It's part of a broader theme of most Latin American countries coming back to alignment with the West and the U.S. This is also part of an even broader theme of ancillary deals happening on the side. I say ancillary very specifically, not to mean not important. They're incredibly important, but maybe just of smaller population size. A good example of this is Trump cutting a deal with Azerbaijan and Armenia, countries that used to be aligned with China or Russia, now coming back to the collective West, as is happening here in Bolivia as well. Like, subscribe for more.